Please welcome Cameron Douglas, VP of OTT Streaming at Fandango and OTT.X Chairman.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Cameron Douglas with Fandango. I'm responsible for our transactional and ad-supported streaming service, Fandango at Home. I'm going to forego my usual opening comments as chairman of the OTT.X board to address something much more important this morning, especially given the facility that we're in today. It affects the families and individuals of many people in this industry and, of course, has global implications. Now, I normally don't like to get political, but I feel like some things have to be said. And no, I'm not talking about whether Scotty Scheffler should have stopped his car this weekend or not. I'm talking, of course, about OTT.X President Mark Fisher's impending retirement. Now, I know the X fronts don't usually bring in the usual OTT.X crowd, so many of you may not even know who the hell Mark Fisher is. He's been with OTT.X since 1999, which alone is like, what, 25 years. Now, if you don't know Mark Fisher, you almost certainly don't know West Coast Video. So before apps, before subscriptions, before YouPorn, there was a place you actually had to drive to, a physical store, and walk in hoping that they would have a copy of that video you wanted to rent, which they almost always did not. And at the height of the industry, there were 70,000 of those video rental stores in the US. West Coast Video was one of the bigger chains, competing with the likes of the most famous of them all, Blockbuster, whom I'm sure you've all heard of. Mark was head of operations for West Coast Video, which had 240 stores. Mark also worked for Boston's Stop & Shop grocery chain, which used to have these horrible little video rental stores inside of them. There were like 60 of those, and Mark ran those too, into the ground. Moving from retail to the trade association supporting those 70,000 retail locations was a natural progression for Mark. It was then called the VSDA, the Video Software Dealers Association. But that 70,000 became 35,000, and 35,000 became 5,000. But Mark and the VSDA org always knew where the industry was going and shifted focus from mom and pop video stores to gaming to digital. And the organization under Mark's leadership progressed from VSDA to EMA to OTT.X, where we are today. And when the home entertainment industry has hit tough times, as it has on several occasions in the last 25 years, so have the members of OTT.X, and quite frankly, in turn, OTT.X itself. But Mark has always been passionate about supporting the needs and voices of the members of this organization, particularly during those times. And his openness and fortitude has always made sure that both our members and the OTT.X organization came out tighter and stronger. The personal connections he's made, the lifetime business partnerships and personal friendships that he has encouraged and fostered all make Mark Fisher one of the true heroes and Hall of Famers of this industry. So, if you are here today and you don't have had the honor to have known Mark, you only have about a day to catch up. Even though he will continue in an emeritus role with OTT.X for the foreseeable future, it's thanks to him that we're all here today, looking at an industry that has come a long way since 1999. Mark has worked his ass off for all of those years, and it's time for him to give back to himself. So, for the last time formally addressing the OTT.X community, please welcome to the podium one last time my dear friend, Mr. Mark Fisher.
Thank you, man. All right. Wait a minute. There we go. Thank you, Cameron. Your leadership and guidance and your friendship have meant so much. Good morning, and welcome to the third annual OTT.X X Fronts here at the Skirball. This event is a sample of how OTT.X is able to respond to and fill the needs of its various member segments. It focuses primarily on the ad-supported business model, and even more specifically, on the relationship between media buyers and the platforms and channels selling space. We've had our challenges during the first 2 years building the right audience, not having existing relationships with ad agencies and media buyers. But this year, our vision for this event is being realized. thanks to support from our partners, Think LA and Big Dog Integration. And we have a respectable list of buyers registered to attend today. We have a powerful slate of presenters scheduled in a conference program that was developed with topics to specifically support the ad-supported business. And we have nearly 400 people, or over 400 people now, registered to attend, what I consider the perfect size for a productive event. As Cameron said, I'm retiring, and this morning will be my final opportunity to address our community after 12 years in this role. While I'd love to take this opportunity to use it to speak about things like our country's political situation and other topics that keep me awake at night, I'll refrain, and I'm going to stick to what's appropriate, our industry. I've been a part of this industry, if you include its roots, since 1985, when I was recruited, as Cameron said, to develop and then run a successful, I'll say, chain of stores for the Stop and Shop Grocery Corporation in New England. The industry was brand new. This was way before Blockbuster opened, and the only place to really learn how the industry worked was to reach out for help from mom and pop store owners who had figured the business out. How did I do that? I joined the Burgeoning Industries Trade Association, then the Video Software Dealers Association, VSDA. It was from that welcoming community and attending their smaller local events and their big annual convention that I learned the basics of the business. And I never forgot those roots. VSDA became EMA and later became OTT.X. I started as a member, then as a chapter board member and officer, then as a member of the National Board of Directors and its treasurer, and then joined the staff as EVP and moved to LA in 1999. And was then promoted into my current role as CEO in 2012. I've been involved either as a member, board member, or staff member for the past 39 years. That should explain my passion for the value that a trade association brings to an industry. This is a great industry to have been a part of, and every one of us working in it should be proud of our service. We're not saving lives in the hospitals or on the streets. We're not researching a cure for cancer, but we're supporting other essential needs, the flow of information and entertainment to the consumer. For example, without home entertainment, how would we have ever coped with the seclusion of the pandemic? Over the years, the OTT or streaming industry has explored, has tested, and has learned. We do a spectacular job of serving the consumer, but we still have our challenges. Putting this morning's remarks together, I debated with myself whether to talk about our challenges, what with a room spotted with media buyers who we're encouraging to invest in our medium. But these challenges don't suggest weakness. They confirm the opportunities of streaming media to get even better at serving the consumer and the ecosystem and growing exponentially. So, a laundry list of challenges. First and foremost, let's commit to focus on the point of the supply chain that's most important. Let's never have a discussion of who's the royalty of our business, content versus technology, without including the real royalty, the consumer. Second, discovery and search. These two things tend to get lumped together, but the challenges are very different. We need better and smarter tools to raise the visibility of appropriate content at an individual viewer level. And even more important, we need to make it much easier for the consumer to search for and find a channel or a program. Searching across channels and app services isn't too difficult. Most platforms offer that capability, and it works pretty well. But trying to search for a fast channel on a platform, forget about it. Wouldn't it be nice for the consumer if there was some consistency in where to find a channel across platforms? Next, ubiquity of access. We're back to the days where in my home with way too many TV screens to count, I need to determine what room I'm going to watch a fast channel in based on what platform offers access to that channel and then what device hosts that platform. Next, ubiquity of programming. Wouldn't it be nice if a channel could promote a new program or a new episode of a program ubiquitously to air or premiere at the same time on the same day across all platforms? Wouldn't that be great for the consumer? DVR-type functionality. One thing keeping cable alive is the consumer's ability to time shift, as well as to rewind, pause, and fast forward. Understood that this might be a rights issue today, but I hope we're all working on it for the future. Ad breaks. As an industry, we've gotten a lot better, but still too many ad breaks occur at inappropriate times, or even worse, mid-sentence. It matters to the consumer. Unsold inventory. Instead of the fixed frame countdown that's often used to fill time, this is a great opportunity to show public service messages. Maybe this is something the industry could develop together. And transparency. Lastly, there needs to be a compromise on transparency. I understand the value of proprietary data, but advertisers and creators can be more effective if they have a better understanding of the consumers that they're reaching. These are all challenges best addressed by the industry as a whole, and it's why we need a strong trade association. These are the discussions that need to take place at our conferences and in our committees and in our common interest groups and at our roundtables. I'm retiring, but under the direction of a terrific board of directors and operated by a dedicated team led by Interim President Eric Hansen, OTT.X will go on to support your needs as long as you continue to support this association. Thank you so much for your participation, and to our members and sponsors, thank you for your support. Personally, I'd just like to thank so many of you, not only for your support, but for your friendship. And I hope that won't end once I retire. Yes, worked with the best board members a CEO could ask to work for, and the staff is the best that I've worked with. Eric, Steve, Jose, I couldn't have been more fortunate than to work with this team over the past years. Now, for the last time, I officially wish you all to have a great 2024 X Fronts. Thanks.